What's up, bros? Drew here with you, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a complete beginner's guide to farming GP in eFootball PES 2020 myClub. So let's get right into the process. First things first, bros, if you are a veteran of myClub, you probably already know some of these tips, so if so, this may or may not be the video for you. Let's get right into it. We're going to jump into myClub. Alright, bros, so from the main menu, we are going to go to Squad Management. As you'll see, I already have a farming squad set up, but I'm going to go ahead and make a new squad from scratch just to show you guys kind of the mindset and the process for how you want to set this up. So we're going to go to our squad list. As you'll see here, I have a main team and two separate farming teams. Alright guys, so we're going to create a new squad and we'll just call it Farming GP. Normally for your farming squads, you probably want to take a backup manager just to not waste any contracts on your main manager. But in this case, since we only have Fisher as a manager, he will be managing this team. And we're going to go ahead and create a squad without registering the players. Now, when making our squad from scratch, we really want to aim for using pretty much the lowest rated players in our club. So as you're getting scouts for playing games, you're probably wondering, what am I supposed to do with all these white ball players? There is more than one way to use them, but one good way to use these players is to go ahead and just make a full squad and use these guys to farm GP. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just try to get a team together that has some team spirit. Alright, so as you'll see, we now have our team set up. We have all white ball players at every position, and many of these guys were even lower rated when we started. We've played a few games, as you can see, with their stamina, but some of these guys have leveled up a little bit from where we started, but that really won't be too important as we go along. So next, you're going to want to fill out the bench, and you could have a couple different strategies here. Personally, with the bench, since the game is just launching and we do want to be building team spirit, I like to look through the club, find players that we know we're going to be playing with, and find ones that do not have 99 affinity with preset tactics. So looking at Balotelli in the bottom right corner, you'll see he has 97 affinity. Just having him on the bench will help his team spirit and affinity go up the next time you have him in your starting 11. So we're going to continue to search for players that are decent in our club but might not have 99 affinity with our manager. As you'll see now, we have our bench filled out. These are all players that I do want to continue to build team spirit and affinity with Fisher, our manager. So having them on the bench, it will go ahead and do that while we are playing matches with this not so good starting 11. Now, from this point, you are ready to jump in and start farming. So this specific method of GP farming is more about a passive way of doing it. If you want a more active way, obviously you could be playing against the AI and other strategies that we'll get into in another video. But for this more passive way of farming GP, next we're going to go over to match, and we're going to scroll to the right, ranked match sim. Now this will search for an opponent's squad. However, no one is going to be actively controlling this squad other than us controlling our own team. Now what you'll potentially see here is this squad that we're up against is less team spirit. There's a couple good players in it, but overall, top to bottom, considering the game's just starting, most people's simulation squads are probably going to be somewhat similar to ours. If you are very, very anal about winning all your simulation games, this is probably not the GP farming method for you. As you can see with our team, there's a good chance that if we came up against a very stacked squad in simulation, we are probably going to lose. But in this case, it looks like we might have a shot at winning. Other than this opponent having Sergio Ramos, the rest of the team looks pretty beatable. So now that we've gotten into this, we're just going to go ahead and kick off our simulation game. Again, this is supposed to be a passive way of farming GP, so ideally this is something that you do while you're watching TV, doing homework, eating a sandwich, making a pizza, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and get into this match. It'll kick off just like any other match. However, we have no control over the players. We are simply watching. We can control the tactics, but other than that, we are merely watching the simulation. Now, what I would recommend if you want this to go a little faster, as you can see, it says Y for match data. Since we're on Xbox, if you go ahead and press Y or triangle on PS4, it will take you to this menu. Now, from this menu, if you really want to be actively managing your team, it's possible to see who is in form, what their stamina looks like, how many touches they have, shots on target, and a lot of other cool stats. Generally though, bros, at this point, I usually just walk away, I go ahead and do some other work, I watch a movie, etc., etc. And yeah, by the time this game is over, whether we win or lose, we will get some GP. And then the ideal goal is that after we use this whole squad, for every player using all their contracts, we just go ahead and release that player and either convert them into a trainer or release them for GP, which I will show an example of after this match. And that will do it for us, bros. Unfortunately, we do not come away with a win in this match, but regardless, it'll still work for our farming either way. So as you are playing these farm matches and simulating them out, you will see players leveling up. They will gain experience, which if you want to be getting experience and don't mind letting the contracts run out on some players of your team, you could definitely run some silver balls or low-level gold balls and continue to get them experience as well through this method. Now, unfortunately, we only ended up with 780 GP because we did lose that match. Obviously, you will get a little bit more if you win. Also, make sure you notice that we are getting a scout for every game that we play. So as we are simulating, we can go over here and check out our scouts. And I've simulated quite a few games already. So you can see that I do have a pretty big stack of scouts, and I've also played a pretty decent amount of online games. So we have 13 scouts at the moment. All of these one-star scouts will pretty much guarantee a white ball if we just spin those by themselves. If you do find yourself running out of white ball players, just go ahead and grab a scout and use that to sign a player, and that will help you fill out your white ball roster. Now, ideally, after we finish using this team, one by one players are going to run out of contracts. As you'll see, our man Gois at the back is only on 2 contracts for Coolfield, and so on. So let's pretend that our contract just ran out for Coolfield. Now, if it did run out, we have a couple options. Farming-wise, the best move is probably to release him for GP. However, this player was one original one that did come with our myClub account, so if we do release him, we will get 0 GP in return. In this case, I would probably suggest that we go ahead and convert him into a trainer. Now, if we go over to our training menu, he will be waiting there to be used on another fullback or defender from there. So all you got to do is either go back to your club and find a replacement that is a low-level player, or you could always go back and just use the scout to find a replacement player. As we said, going along, we will get 1 more scout for every game played, so in the end, we will be able to replace this team pretty easily. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please be sure to smash a like, drop a sub, and let us know down below if you found any other good and easy farming methods to kick off myClub 2020. As always, bros, thanks for watching, and keep on spinning.